Hey, what's going on, guys? TriggerTrav back again. We're back on Relic. Still running Ronin, still running battery backup, but we're switching it out a little bit on the gun class today. I'm running the Flatline because I want to see how good this thing is or how bad it is rather than after it got patched and see what Respawn did to it. I know from the patch notes they said they were trying to bring it in line a little bit with the other assault rifles, but it's a little weird to me right now. This is probably my 5th or 6th match with it today, and honestly, you can probably flip a coin and you're going to be able to tell how well I'm going to be able to do with it. It's been really weird. I've never been super great with the Flatline to begin with. It's always been kind of a weird gun to me. I've always had a love-hate relationship with it. Sometimes it's on point, and then other days I can't hit anything with it. But I wanted to test it out, see what Respawn did to it. We'll see how it goes. So my opinion on the Flatline is kind of weird. So with the time to kill it takes with the Flatline and the way the damage works, like per bullet, just when a bullet hits, it's not actually that bad. It's pretty in line with the other assault rifles. It's not horribly slow to kill or anything like that, but it's not going to rip you apart in 2 seconds. It's pretty good just as far as bullets. Like, it doesn't really take that long, and I say that and then I get a double kill, which works. So when going away from that, it's not even so much the way the bullet spread itself is really messing you up on time to kill or anything. Like, the bullets, the way they come out of the gun are pretty straight on. It's not too bad. It's just the way the recoil is on the gun that really screws up the way your aiming goes. It can go one engagement, it can fire pretty straight and feel okay, and then the next it starts randomly jumping around like goddamn Bugs Bunny. And it's just really weird how it's very inconsistent in the way the recoil works, because there's some guns in the game where you know they have a recoil, like it's there, it's not super smooth, it's really there, but it's kind of a predictable kind of recoil. The R97 for me, it has a pretty decent amount of recoil, especially if you start trying to do ADS, and I don't know why you would. It's meant for hipfire, but besides the point. So when you're aiming down sight on the R97, it's got a pretty predictable recoil pattern. Like, it's not going to go crazy. It's pretty easy to like rein in and control for the most part. But the Flatline, I feel like there's 5 or 6 different like quote-unquote patterns that this thing has for recoil, and they're all random, and there's no real way to account for it. So sometimes you can be aiming right on someone and suddenly it'll jump like upper left, just above someone's head too much a little bit, and then it's off, and it's just really weird to me. But we'll see how it kind of fits into the meta of, you know, the assault rifles and then overall just the other guns in the game as time goes on. I feel like for the most part, any of the balance changes that have been introduced in the game for the most part haven't really been so blatant and so crazy that you can immediately notice the biggest of differences, unless you're looking at something like the Volt or something. That thing got nerfed absolutely to hell, and it was really noticeable. Speaking of the Volt, though, I've been playing with it a little bit, and I haven't made a video, but I really plan to. It's actually pretty like adequate now. I really like it. It's feeling like you're not absolutely like disadvantaged immediately once you're in engagement with someone, even if you're doing like a one-to-one, or if someone even catches you a little off bit and you turn around or they get their first blow on you. I really don't feel like you're super at a disadvantage with it. So really liking the Volt. But back to the Flatline. For the most part, my opinion of it right now, having played with it in some matches and starting to get a feel for it better, is it's in line with the other assault rifles for the most part. I think the problem I've always had with it is that accuracy, and wow, I almost died. That, I should have been dead. Okay, thank you. But yeah, it's very in line with the other assault rifles for the most part as far as damage goes and time to kill if you're on target. It's just always been that recoil that's messed me up with it. It's just kind of weird. I don't know if they'll ever change that, because it's supposed to be kind of like this weird AK-47-esque kind of gun, I guess. I don't know. It's supposed to be a little bit accurate, but we'll see how that plays into it now that it's a little more in line damage-wise with the other assault rifles. It doesn't feel like you can kill people with 3 bullets. So we'll see. I'm gonna say it still rips for the most part as long as you're on target, and I like it. But besides Flatline, the patch so far, I've really liked it. It hasn't really given me any real reasons to be like, Respawn, what the hell were you doing? Like, this is so stupid. Why would you ever? It's been pretty good. I really am digging these kind of like little quality of life, minute changes that they're making to the game as they go. My biggest thing I'd probably want to see next from Respawn is, like I said, my last video, please nerf the G2, or not my last video, it was another few videos ago, but please nerf the G2. Like, that thing still annoys the crap out of me. They did the devotion, so I'm like halfway there to being absolutely happy with the game, have no complaints. Just please nerf G2, I'm begging you. Like, praying to every baby god in the universe. But other than that, I noticed with the Monarch lately, now that the hype has died down with her a little bit, you're not starting to see teams of like 4 or 5 deep with Monarchs. It's starting to get a little bit of diversity back, which I always like. I think Titanfall, as far as Titan gameplay goes, I think it's always best when there's a lot of diversity and you don't have one team running just one Titan as their mains for like 4 or 5 players. And it really just kind of ruins the way the engagements work and how things interact and mingle. I remember back when the game first came out and Tone was an absolute beast. That thing was absolutely insane and could kill you in 2 seconds. That was the most annoying part to me because you wanted to play against the other Titans and figure out how they all worked and stuff, but every other team just had all Tones and it got a little annoying. So I'm glad Monarch's hype is starting to die down a little bit. I still think she's a really good Titan. I will say it's really weird. She's irking me a little bit and I'm not sure if she's overpowered or I just need to get better at how to play against her, or the way I play maybe needs to change up, you know, not being hyper aggressive. Not really sure. And I'm missing all these shots. Like, there's 4 pilots here and I literally didn't kill one of them. That was horrible. But just the way the time to kill works with Monarch a little bit. I know she has her shield regain, her sustainability, and her lasting power is one of her strengths. But sometimes I just feel like it gets a little bit old. But at the same time, as I say that, her survivability is only really insane when you're getting to spam the regen, like the siphon, and then when she gets up to superior chassis on her 3rd, which like she should get a pretty good boost from the 3rd core. Like, you've taken that long, you survived that long, you should get rewarded for it. I'm not saying that's overpowered by any means, but it's just when she gets through her 1st, 2nd core, like, she's not overly powerful to the point where she feels like an absolute beast. It's only on her 3rd, but damn it, Reaper. I hate Reapers to death. Like, I know I warped into them, and that was a phase dash, and that's how that works, and that's how it's supposed to be. But, like, 2 big middle fingers to Reapers. I hate them so much. I kind of wish they would dumb down just a little bit the overall health, because it feels like the time to kill on any of the AI and attrition is a little too much. I don't know if it's any different in Bounty Hunt. It seems to be a little bit less, like, health overall in Bounty Hunt, but I'm not really sure. But speaking of way attrition works, not to be overly complaining, but I like Bounty Hunt a lot more because I feel like Bounty Hunt kind of has a little bit better. That was the worst choke ever. That was pathetic. I saw him running up the stairs, had him lined up ready to go, and he still managed to kill me. That was bad. But what was I talking about? Yeah, so Bounty Hunt, I feel like just has a little bit better balance of the way AI works and being able to engage AI versus engaging pilots. It's a good kind of like middle ground. Attrition just gets a little too chaotic and crazy for me, like when you get into the final stretch. Like right now, there's just a million Reapers all blasting around at the same time. There's a million little grunts running around. I have no idea where anyone is. I can't hear them, which I know is like sound whoring. Like I can't hear pilots, which gets a little old because I'm like, oh, if I knew that guy was around the corner. Was that a nuke inject? Oh, it was. Was that from outside? Yep. Alright. So yeah, when I'm trying to like hear things, I just can't tell where people are, and then just overall trying to keep track of everything on the radar gets a little weird. So I do like Bounty Hunt more, but I'm trying to change it up. I'm trying to be a little bit different in the game modes I play and the guns I try out. One, because of diversity, it gets a little boring for myself after a while playing with the same gun or even the same Titan. Although I don't know if I'll ever get sick of Ronin. That's gonna take a lot for me to not love this thing. But it's just, I'm trying to change things up a little bit for myself, and then just like, it gets a little boring watching the same thing over and over and over. So we're going to see what I do next. I want to try out the Volt now that I've gotten a little bit better opinion on the Flatline. I see how it feels, and I know where it will fit as far as when and how I want to use it. But yeah, I think the Volt is what I'm going to try out next. I want to go back to the Alternator just because I love that gun. There wasn't really a lot changed for it or anything. There's not much difference between it now at all versus when the patch came out. But I just really like that gun, and I feel like I haven't used it a lot lately, so I want to go back to that. Try and just not sit on that R101 too much, but whew, it's nice. But, so, just going back to what I was talking about earlier, I like the Flatline as it is now. I think it's not I don't think it's overpowered in the way it was damage-wise before. It's just a little bit different now, has a little bit different dynamic because of the way the recoil works in concert with the way it does damage now and how fast it is doing damage. So we'll see how that changes the metagame and how different that is now that stuff has been changed around. So we're going to see what is going on with the new content that's dropping soon. I really want to see what's going on with the new maps that are going to come out soon and the new game modes. But another day. So did pretty good this match. Didn't do horrible, didn't do amazingly well, but I had a lot of fun. It's cool to use a different gun. So thanks for checking me out, guys. Like and subscribe if you want. I'll catch you next time. Peace.